after de Broglie? Just after de Broglie equation? Yes or no? In your notebook, we have de Broglie equation, right? De Broglie hypothesis. So if you can turn to that page in your notes, then I will ask you a few things, okay? Then you will tell me. Yes, Samira. Can you see that page in your notebook? Assalamu alaikum, Safwan.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now tell me, Samira, can you see momentum anywhere? Can you see momentum anywhere there?
Angular momentum.
You can see angular momentum. Okay. Can you see any relationship? Okay, yeah, you can see angular momentum. Before that,
Before that is a relation between wavelength and kinetic energy.
wavelength and kinetic energy, right? So how we are deriving wavelength and kinetic energy? That what is the first line in that derivation? Lambda is equal to
H by mv.
h by mv, right? What is mv? Mv is momentum only, na?
Yes, sir.
So I can write. We have also written there h upon p. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I can do for particle A? You can see that for particle A, let me use a semicolon right at that. So this lambda of A is equal to Planck's constant will be constant, but this momentum will be P of A. Similarly, for particle B, I can say that lambda of B is equal to H upon PV. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Also, what they have given the relationship between the PB and PA? Tell me. There is a relationship now in the question. Calculate the wavelength of particle B if its momentum is half of A, right? So they have said momentum of particle B is half of momentum of particle A. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt till here? No doubts?
No, sir.
Now, can you substitute, do some substitution, and can you calculate the lambda of B? Or should I do a few more steps? Should I do a few more steps? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
I should. Okay, I think I should. Okay, so lambda B is equal to, now I will just put lambda B is equal to H upon PA by 2. And this will give me 2H upon momentum of A. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 2H upon momentum of A. Now, from this equation, we have this is lambda B. This is an equation number, wait a second, lambda A, let us take lambda A as 1. Let us take this as 2. Now, what I can do is I can derive a relationship between lambda A and lambda B. If I divide lambda A upon lambda B, this will be equal to how much? In lambda A, we have H upon PA. Lambda B, we have 2H upon PA. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I can cancel this whole things. This will become 1 by 2. Okay? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So lambda B will be equal to 2 times lambda of A. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Easy. 2 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 8 meters. This will be equal to 5 to the 10. So this will be equal to 10 to the power minus 7 meters. Easy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So let us start the next chapter, that is periodic properties. Okay, that is periodic properties. Now, somewhere inside the periodic properties, there is one small topic which is not directly related to the properties of the elements in the periodic table. Okay, that is not directly related to that. So what is that topic? That topic is nomenclature of elements after 100 atomic number. Nomenclature of elements who have atomic number greater than 100. Now, the story, why is this, why is the nomenclature for elements only after 100, not starting from 1, 2, 3, 4? Why there is no systematic nomenclature for those elements? The reason is the element number 104. The element number 104, the atomic number 104. Okay. Now this element, it was argued that the Americans, they said that we have made this particular element. Okay, so all of these elements after uranium, now they are mostly man-made elements. Okay, they are mostly man-made elements. So 104 was also a man-made element. Now, if you can remember that after the Second World War, now see how politics, it affects the science, how politics affects the science. Now, when World War II was completed, Americans were a dominant power, and the other dominant power was the USSR, right? You have heard USSR, class 10, Soviet Union,
Yes,
Cold
sir.
War. Yes. Now, at that time, what was happening? They were having a Cold War. In Cold War, it is not something that happens in winter. Rather, there is a competition between these two states. I would say these two countries, they have a competition. What type of competition? USSR is like, I will send the first human being in the space. Who is that human being who went to space? The first human being. You guys remember the name? जीके खराब हो गया आप लोगों का. Yuri Gagarin. Does this name strike anything? Yuri Gagarin? No. Really? Mariam Safwan Samaira. No one knows Yuri Gagarin? Yes, sir. No, sir. At least you can say, na? No, sir, at least.
No, sir.
Yuri Gagarin. नहीं पता. Okay. Fine. No problem. आप लोगों का civics बहुत खराब है. Then what did America do? He was like, America was like, I will send the first person to the moon. Okay, so these type of competition were happening. Now, these all are scientific pursuits. They are not rather attacked. What they are doing is they are diminishing the potential power, the power that is inside the heads of humans. Now, there is some kind of, I can say, some kind of fear at that time with USSR and America. These both were looked as the world superpower. Now, who is the superpower? So Americans and USSR, the Soviets and Americans, they were competing in this way. And one of the competition was regarding the new elements, that who can produce more new elements. So the element number 104, it was argued between Americans and the USSR that we have made this element. So Americans said that we will name this Rutherfordium. Okay, and we will keep the symbol as RF. But the Soviet Union scientists, they said that we will name this element Kurchatovium. And we will name this symbol will be Ku. Now, IUPAC came and they said that let's not fight. We will do a kind of voting with the names, but before voting, how should we refer to this particular element 104 and the newer elements that are being made? So IUPAC said, okay, fine, that's not a big deal. We will give a systematic nomenclature for all the elements that are being man-made, the new elements that are being man-made. Now, after the voting and all, once in a year, if there is a new element, then there is, let us say, there is a meeting once in a year, and there are 5 new elements. Then the voting will be done. Many people will put out the names, recommended names. The one who gets the most vote, that name would be accepted for that particular element. Okay, but that is not our concern. Rather, our concern is how did IUPAC tell the nations to use the name before having any official name. Okay, before having any official name. So please write the first topic, that is nomenclature of elements. Nomenclature of elements. Now, the only thing that you should remember in mind why this nomenclature exists, you will, in your head, you will say that Soviet and American started fighting. That is why nomenclature of these elements were given by IUPAC of elements with atomic number above 100. With atomic number above 100. there are a few rules here. Okay, there are a few rules. The first rule is, please write this with me. Okay, these are simple things that you just have to practice. The first rule is, and these are not like organic nomenclature, these are not very tough ones. Names are derived from atomic number. Names are derived from atomic number. Okay, from atomic number and the digits in atomic number and the digits in atomic number. Okay, so now how many digits are there in the Indo-Arabic numeral system? How many digits are there? You know digits, right? Digits भी नहीं पता फिर क्या? Yes, guys, tell me. How many digits are there in the Indo-Arabic number system? Yes, Mariam?
10,
Yes. What are they? Can you start, please?
0,
Very good. Digits. You have 0,
1,
then you have 0, 1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
Yes, sir.
7, 8, and 9. Then all of these digits, they were given one name. Okay, all of these digits were given one name. The names are so for 0, the name was given nil, NIL, and there were some symbols also, okay, abbreviations. What is the abbreviation for nil? You will just write N. For 1, it was un, abbreviation was U. Okay, this is N, this is U. For 2, it was bi, the abbreviation was B. 3, it was tri, abbreviation was T. For 4, it was quad, abbreviation was Q. For 5, it was pent, abbreviation was P. For 6, it was hex, abbreviation was H. For 7, it was sept, abbreviation was S. For 8, it was oct, abbreviation was O. For 9, it was E and N. Say this is N, and the abbreviation was E. Okay, so please write this. Digits, name, and abbreviation.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
All of you done? Okay.
1 second.
Okay. Done, Safwan?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second rule is the names are derived by combining. Names are derived by combining the roots, the root names. I mean, this is the root name, okay? This is the root name. The root names in the order of digits which form the atomic number, okay, which form the atomic number. For example, if I have 101, then 101 will be, we have 1, the name will be what? For 1, what is the name? It is un, right? Then plus, for 0, what is the name? Nil.
Nil.
Then again, for 1, what is the name?
Un.
Un, right? Now, this is done. The next point is that all name end with IUM. Okay, they should end with IUM. So you have un, nil, plus you will add what? IUM. Now, if there is already an I, then you don't have to put IUM, you just have to put UM. The main thing is that you don't have to add IUM. What you have to do, the name should end with IUM. Now, if already the last digit, it has, for example, by 102, then you will not write by IUM. You will just write by, then UM. So this will be, what will be the name here? It will be un, nil, un, em. The sign will be U, N, U. Sign will be U, N, U. Similarly, if you have 102, this will be un, nil, plus by, right? And after that, just UM, correct? Just UM, because
Yes,
it should
sir.
just end with IUM. This will be un, nil, by M. Please write this. Then just
Done,
one
sir.
more point. Okay, just one more point. One note that you can write is that let us say if you have tripling of letters is not valid. What do I mean by tripling of letters? Tripling of letter means, for example, let us say you have 1 0 no un, then in, nil. For example, if you, I mean, this will not come, but example, if you have 190, okay, the atomic number is 190, then you will have what? You will have 1, that is un, plus 9 will be what? 9 will be ENN, right? Plus what will be 0? 0 will be NIL, right? Plus you will have IUM. But as you can see here, if I write it like this, the similar way, you will have un, ENN, then again N will be there, LIUM, right? So this triple N cannot be right. So what will be the right one? Right one will be un, EN, then nil, IUM. Okay, just keep in mind this will not come, but you don't. Maybe they will give you 190. So you just have to keep in mind this particular example. Tripling of letters is not valid.
Done, sir.
Done, everyone? Now. Write the name and symbol of following elements according to IUPAC. Okay, according to IUPAC recommendation. Please do this. Just let me know if you're done, okay? Just let me know if you're done. Is there any noise that you can hear?
No, sir.
Okay.
So should we send the answer?
No, you are done. Just let me know.
Yes, so done.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Done,
What-
sir.
So this will be un by m, right? So this will be u b, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just one more thing. I think you should write this as, this should be capital U. Okay, this should be capital U. Just make this. This should be capital U. This is also U and this is B. This will be un unium. This will be U and U. This will be un NEM. This will be U E. This is un septium. This will be US. For 105, this will be unnil pentium. This will be UNP. For 109, this will be unnil NEM. This will be UNE. Everyone is done?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Homework. And do the same thing for rest of all, okay? For the rest of the elements with Z greater than 100, okay? With Z greater than 100. That means you will, that is still 118. Till 118. These are the elements, but please remember that if you have any elements that is having 120, 130, you will still apply the same rules. You will still apply the same rules. Okay. Now let us come back to periodic properties, okay, and classification of elements. Now, whenever there is a science, whenever there is some science, in science, we most of the times we look at patterns, right? There is some phenomena going on. We have to explain this. We have to explain this phenomena. Then what are we going to do? What we are going to do? We will look at some different other phenomena which are similar to this phenomena A. Now, from here we will derive some pattern, right? And then we will explain the phenomena A on the basis of these patterns that we have got. Now, another okay. Is there any noise? Please let me know now, because there is some drilling going on in my house. Can you hear anything, or is it all fine?
Yes, sir. A little bit.
Little bit.
It's not
I
too
mean,
bad, sir.
it's not too bad. It's not disturbing,
Yes.
no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So the another important reason is that, for example, there are 118 elements, as you know now. There are 118 elements. Now, if we want to study all of these 118 elements and we want to remember each and every properties of these elements individually, that will be a bit difficult task. Okay, that will be a bit difficult task. So just to make it easy, we arranged the elements. We arranged the element with similar properties in a tabular form, and that is the periodic table. So similar things in one group, we arrange them. Okay, so we grouped the elements around, we grouped the elements on the basis of their properties. First of all, we'll write the definition of what is a periodic table. Periodic table. What is a periodic table? Arrangement of elements according to their properties. In tabular form. Now, there is historical development of periodic table that we don't need to study. It is not in the syllabus. That is why we will directly come to the long form of periodic table or the modern periodic table. Okay, the modern periodic table. This is the definition of periodic table. Now let us come to the modern periodic table. Now, whenever we classify something, or if you in 9th standard you have this chapter, right, on classification of species. Yes, right, guys? In 11th also there is. Okay. Now, whenever we classify, there should be some basis. Correct? For example, I can divide all the humans into two categories. I can say there are adults and there are children. Okay, there are childs. Now, furthermore, I can divide childs also, right? I can say some are, let us say some are teens and some are pre-teens, right? Adults also I can divide in two types. Some are adults and some are senior citizens. So in the classification of humans, the basis that I have taken is age. And from there, I am classifying different groups. I'm classifying. So there should be a basis of classification, even if we are classifying the elements, even if we are grouping the elements, there should be some basis. What is the basis of long form of periodic table or modern periodic table? This is long form of periodic table or modern periodic table. Modern periodic table. The basis is the electronic configuration, the repeating electronic configuration of atoms when elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. So what is the basis here? The basis here is the electronic configuration or the number of electrons, the electronic configuration or the number of electrons. Electronic configuration is a better answer. So what is the basis of this? Basis of this classification? The basis of this classification is repetition of outermost electronic configuration. Okay, outermost electronic configuration. Now, what is the arrangement here? Now, when we arrange the elements on the basis of the repetition of outermost electronic configuration, what is the arrangement? Arrangement is such that the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. The arrangement is in the order of increasing atomic number. What is the arrangement? Let us write the arrangement here. The arrangement is in increasing order of of atomic number. In increasing order of atomic number. So we have basis and arrangement. We have basis and arrangement. Now we will look into the structural features. Okay, how is the structure of this long form of periodic table? Okay, the structure. And structure is something that you will be dealing with for a very long period of time. Okay, so structure of the modern periodic table. Structure of MPT modern periodic table. Now, the structure, they involve, there will be rows and columns, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So rows are horizontal or vertical? Rows are horizontal or vertical?
Horizontal.
Very good. Horizontal rows are called groups. Horizontal rows are called groups. Then we have vertical sorry. Horizontal rows are known as periods, not groups. My bad. Periods. Vertical columns are called groups. Okay, so this is D and S. Vertical columns are called groups. Now we will learn about the now all the chemistry that we'll be learning in this chapter will be regarding the periods and the group. Okay, will be regarding the periods and the group. You can also write something here that there are 7 periods. No, so you can write in bracket in 7, and vertical columns which are groups are 18. Okay, we have 18 groups and 7 periods. Let me know if you're done.
Done, sir.
Now first, we will learn about the electronic configuration of elements in periods. Electronic configuration of elements in period. Now in the period, what happens in the first period? We will start with the first period, second period, etc. Okay, so in the first period, there this corresponds to n is equal to 1. What is n here?
Number of shells.
Yeah, number of shell. That is n is equal to principal quantum number. Okay, n is principal quantum number. Okay, n is equal to, that is k shell, or we can also say that it is first shell. Now, as we know that in the first shell, there can be only 2 electrons, right? There can be only
Yes,
2
sir.
electrons. That is why how many elements will be there? It contains 2 elements. It contains only 2 elements. It contains how many elements? Only 2 elements. And what are those 2 elements?
Hydrogen and helium.
Yes, hydrogen with the electronic configuration 1s1 and helium with the electronic configuration 1s2. Done? First
Yes,
period
sir.
done. Safwan and others.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay, what about Safwan? Are you done, Safwan?
Yes.
Done. Okay. Now let us write second period. Now this will correspond to corresponds to n is equal to how much?
2.
N is equal to 2. And that is which shell? L, right? Or second shell. L shell or second shell. Now, how many elements can be present in the second shell? How many elements?
8.
Yes. I hope you remember the formula 2 into n square, right?
Yes, sir.
Number. Okay. So this n will have the number of elements. How did we write this? It contains how many elements? 8 elements. Okay. What are the elements from? Lithium, right?
Yes, sir.
Lithium, which has 1s1, sorry, 1s2 and 2s1. Till neon. Neon has 1s2, 2s2 and 2p6. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now in this we can see that in this the second shell is also completed. In the first period, the first shell is completed, and in the second period, what shell is completed? The second shell is completed. The second shell is completed. Now the third period is a bit crucial. Third period is a bit crucial. Third period, it corresponds to n is equal to 3. JKL, KLM. Third shell. Now, it contains how many orbitals? Tell me. It contains 3s, 3p, and 3d, right? It contains 3s, 3p, and 3d. But since the energy of 3d is greater than 4s, 3d is not filled. 3d is not filled in this period. Correct? 3d has greater energy than 4s. That means you have to first fill 4s. Now, if I have to fill the 4s orbitals, then I have to go to the fourth period, right? That means 3d will be waiting now. 3d will be in waiting. 3d will be waiting for what? 3d will be waiting for the 4s electron to fill. And after that, what will happen? The 3d electrons will be filled. The orbitals of 3d, they will be starting to fill. Now, it corresponds to, that is why it contains 8 elements. Right? It contains 8 elements. Now, it contains 8 elements. What are these elements? It starts with sodium. Yes. Sodium. What is the outermost electronic configuration for sodium? It will be 3s2. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Till we are just writing now the outermost electronic configuration. Okay. Sodium 3s2 till argon, right? Argon. That will be 3s2, 3p6. The outermost electronic configuration. Whenever I say outermost electronic configuration, whatever electronic configuration we write after the noble gas. If you remember the noble gas electronic configuration, we write the noble gas electronic configuration. After that, we write NS1, NS2, NS3, something like that. So those subshells, these are called as the outermost electronic configuration. Okay, so this is regarding the third period. Please write for fourth. Please write this. Let me know if you're done. Then we will go for fourth, fifth, and sixth, and so on. Done?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. fourth period. Okay. Now there can be a question. Is the third shell completely filled in third period? Is the third shell? No. Yeah. Okay. So you just keep this in mind that third shell is not completely filled in the third period. It gets filled in the fourth period after the filling of 4s electrons. Okay. And this corresponds to n is equal to how much? Safwan will answer me now. Safwan, n is equal to how much? Yes, Safwan, I'm waiting for you. Safwan is not here. Fine. Corresponds to n is equal to 4. Now, what are the orbitals that will be filled here? 4s, 3d, and 4p will be filled. Okay. 4f exists. That means as soon as you enter the fourth orbit, fourth period, the 4f is existing, but it will not be filled because it has higher energy than 5s. 4f will not be filled. Here, as it has higher energy than 5s. It has higher energy than 5s. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
So how many elements will be there? How many elements?
18.
18 elements. Fourth period has it has 18 elements. Okay, so from where to where? From where to where?
From potassium.
Yes, very good. Potassium. It will have 4s1 to potassium to krypton. And krypton will have how much? It will have 4s 2, 3d10, 4p6. Okay. 18 electrons, 18 elements. Then for fifth, n is equal to 5. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
N is equal to 5. Okay. Now, after that, what are the orbitals that will be filled here?
4f.
5s first, na? 5s
Oh, 5s. 4f.
and 4s.
4p.
4p. 4p is already filled. Five s 4f will not be placed here, right? Because if you can see here 4f, you remember that ns n minus 2f, right? So this is
Yes,
ns. Then after that will come 4d. Okay. After that, because 3f will not exist, na? 3f will not
Yes,
exist.
sir.
4d, and after that will come 5p will be filled, right? Now, how many electrons? F can hold 2 electrons, that means 2 electrons. 2 electrons, that means 2 elements. B can hold 10 electrons, that means 10 elements. P can hold 6 electrons, that means 6 elements. So in total here also 18 elements. Now starting from rubidium, yes or no? Rubidium, na?
Yes, sir.
This will have 5s1 till what is the noble gas?
Xenon.
Xenon. We have 5s2, 4d10, 5p6. Then comes the sixth electron, sixth period. And is equal to 6. And the electrons that will be filled here, that will be, we'll start with 6s, 4f,
5T,
right, 5d, and
6P.
will be filled. Very good. How many elements will be here? 32 elements, okay? 32 elements. 32 elements. Now, the 14 elements of 4f are shown separated below the table. Okay, not below the table, I should write. Separated down the table. These elements are known as lanthanoids. Lanthanoids. Okay. So let us start with it start from cesium. So we'll have 6s1. Still, what is the last element here? Radon, right?
Yes, sir.
6s2, 4f14. Then we have 5d10, 6p, 6. Then we have Samira, are you writing these things? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Done, sir.
Okay, done. So I've just pasted the sixth period, but I will correct a few things here. 7th, 32 is fine. The 14 elements of 4f are shown down in the table. They are known as actinoids. And then I have to remove this till n is equal to 7. So 7s, 5f, 6d, and 7p will be filled. 32 elements here also. The 14 elements of f, that is the 5f, are shown separated down the table, right? And these are known as actinoids. These are known as actinoids. Okay, and where will we start from? We'll start from francium, right? Start from francium, and then we will go till organoson, that is 118. Okay, this is OG, organoson, or if you want the IUPAC nomenclature for 118, it will be what? 118, it will be U and O. No, not O. U and O, right? UUO. This will have 7. So also have 7. This will have 5f14. This will be having 6d10, yeah, and 7p. 7p6. Okay, the periods is done. Periods is done.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Can I move down? Can I move down? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what we can do is, now I want both of you to answer. Okay, I want both of you to answer. Making table is a and V. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is enough.
Sir, we are making the modern periodic table.
No, I'm not making the modern periodic table. This is something that will summarize everything for
Okay,
you
sir.
guys. Okay. So I will write period here. Okay, that is n. So 1, let me use some other color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 periods, right? These are the 7 periods. Now, then I will have to give you the orbitals that are being filled, right? Orbitals that get filled here, and number of electrons, or yeah, that is. So here we will write orbitals being filled. Here we will write number of electrons or elements in that period, in the period. Okay, so tell me, in the first period, which are the orbitals that are being filled? Only one s, no?
Yes, sir.
Right? So this will be 2, which means we have two elements here. Now in the second, you have 2s2p. 2s2p. That means in the 2s, there will be 2 electrons plus in p. How many electrons in p? How many electrons in p?
6.
6. So this will give you what? 8. Now for 3s3p. 3s 3p. Okay. Now can you see that formula also being working here? 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p. Right? So here also you will have 2 plus 6. That means 8 electrons here also. What about 4? 4s. After 4s, ns n minus 2f wala formula, please. I hope somebody will tell me. 4s 3d. Yes, 4s 3d 4p. 4s 3d 4. Now how many electrons? 2 plus, for d
10.
how many electrons? 10. Very good. For
No,
p
6.
how many electrons? 6. Very good. So this will be how many electrons or how many elements in that period? 18, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now for 5, please tell me for 5.
5s, 4d,
5s.
5p.
4D and 5P.
Very good. So tell me the electrons.
2 plus 10
2
plus
plus
6.
10 plus 6.
Very good. 2 plus 10 plus 6. This will be also 18 electrons, or 18 elements are there in the fifth. Now for 6, it will be 6s,
4f,
F.
5d,
for
and
5d
6p.
and 6. Yeah. So this will be 2 plus 14 plus
Plus
10
10 plus 6.
plus 6. This will be equal to
32.
32.
32.
Very good. And this is 7s.
5p, 60, 7p.
Hi.
5F.
7f.
5F.
5. Yes, 5f.
5f,
6d. 7p.
7p.
So this will be again 2 plus 14 plus
14 plus 10,
10 plus 6.
6, which will be equal to
32.
32 again. Okay. So please,
Yes, sir.
if you have done copying this, then please let me know. If you are not done copying this, then also let me know if you're done after you are done. Okay.
Done, sir.
Done, everyone?
Done, sir.
Okay. Now, we will learn about the division of elements into, we have seen the groups, right? We have seen the groups. Now, those groups are also grouped together as S, P, D, and F. Those groups are also grouped together as S, P, D, and F. Okay. So we will first of all look at the S subshell, then the groups in that S subshell, then P, then D and then F. Okay, S, P, D, F. We will go in this way. We'll go in this way. So basically, what we are going to learn are the groups. Okay, elements inside groups. So we are learning about different groups. How many groups are there? How many groups are there?
18 groups.
Very good, 18 groups. Okay. So how did we write this? Did we start with directly periods? Electronic configuration periods. So now we will learn about groups. Okay. In these groups, the first statement that I will write is the 18 groups are divided into 4 blocks. Depending on the subshell that receives the last electron. The subshell that receives the last electron. Okay, and these groups are, sorry, these blocks are S block. This is from group. It says group 1 and 2. Second, we have P block. It says from group 13 to 17. Okay. Then third is, now you can also include the 18th group, that is the noble gases, but we don't include that in the P block because they don't have any reactivity. Okay, they don't have any reactivity. Now after that comes what? The D block. The D block have, they are from group 3 to 10 for the F block. Okay, now F block element, they all are inside group 3. Okay, they all are inside group 3 only.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Let us start with the S block. Okay, let's start with the S block elements. F block elements. Okay, now first of all, the general electronic configuration. The general electronic configuration. Now whenever I say the general electronic configuration or the general outermost electronic configuration, okay, this is general outermost electronic configuration is NS1 to 2. NS1 to 2. That means the S block element will have the outermost electronic configuration of some 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 7s, anything 1 or 2s, 1s1 or 1s2. 1s, you can have 2s1, 2s2. Okay, so these type of electronic configuration you will be seeing. Okay, and this is composed of 2 groups. It is composed of 2 groups. Okay, first one is known as group 1, aka these are also known as alkali metals. Second is group 2, also known as alkaline earth metals. Okay, these are also known as alkaline earth metals. Okay, now what we will do, we will write some general characteristic. Okay, general characteristics of these S block elements. So remarks. What are the general characteristics of S block elements? First, these are soft metals and they have low melting and boiling point. These are not very hard metals. Okay, so these will not be used for industrial purposes. Okay, you will not make guns from these particular metals. Okay, you will not be making any automobile from these S block elements. So please remember that all these property, they have some implication. Okay, they have some implication. First is they are soft and have low melting and boiling points. They are soft and have low melting points and boiling points. Next point is that they have low ionization enthalpy. What is ionization enthalpy? The energy required to remove an electron, the energy required to remove the outermost electron. We will deal with this ionization enthalpy in detail, but please write this down in the remarks as of now. Okay, in the remarks as of now. They are very reactive. Why very reactive? Because if you can easily remove an electron, that means they can easily react also. Now, as soon as they have made a cation, as soon as they are willing to give out the electron, okay, that means if the removal of electron is easy, that means they are reactive. What is reaction? Reaction is just transfer of electrons. Okay, these are just transfer of electron from one species to another. Now, if the ionization energy is low, what will happen? We can easily remove the electron. That means we can easily do reactions also. They are very reactive. Now, these are a few points that I'm going to write. These are very reactive. You must not have heard about oxidation and reduction, but please write this. They are good reducing agents. Reducing means what? Reducing means you give them electron, that means reduction. Now what they are doing? Now somebody can easily take the electrons, that means what? They can easily give electrons. Now if somebody can easily give electrons, that means it is a good reducing agent. It can reduce anything. It can reduce the other species also. Now please write this down. After that, we will look at the group 1. Okay.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Both of you done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Right. The group 1 elements. What is the name of group 1? Alkali metals. What is the name?
Alkali metals.
Alkali metals. Now, how did this name came into being? For example, you have any element from here. For example, you have sodium. Sodium is solid. You treat this and you put the sodium in water, and what you will be getting here? You will be getting here NaOH plus H2 gas will be liberated. That means water. It has become now what? It has become alkali. It has become basic. That means the sodium is base forming. That is why it is alkali metal. If you put that in water, what will happen? You will form bases. That is why these are known as alkali metals. These are known as alkali metals. Now, what are the elements in the group 1? What are the elements? You have hydrogen,
Lithium, sodium,
sodium. After that, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Okay, helium, lithium, sodium. Yeah, so do you know any mnemonic to remember this? Yes or no?
No, sir.
No. Okay, fine. I will give you a mnemonic. You can either remember it. For hydrogen, you can remember. You have to remember hydrogen is first. You have to just memorize this things. Okay. After that, how I learned this was in 10th standard. One of my seniors, he just told me to repeat this 10 times. Linak rub kasfar linak. He said repeat like this. He didn't tell me anything about the elements and all. He just said linak rub kasfar. He said repeat it 10 times. Now when I repeated this 10 times, then when I saw this periodic table in 11th standard, I understood that, okay, fine, this is what he was trying to teach me. So linak rub kasfar, this is how I learned. But there is some mnemonic and tricks. That is, I guess, like this. Na, hey Lina, kare rab se faryad. Do you guys know this?
Yes,
Hey
sir.
Lina, ki or ko, whatever, ki rab se faryad. Now I don't know, was this with me only or with there can be issue with someone else also. Like if I say hey Lina, now I will be thinking Lina. Now in that Lina I have lithium. Lina kare. Now kare comes potassium. Where did sodium go? So I used to forget it like this. Rab se faryad. Now se means Se na. So selenium hoga kya yahan pe? Now these things used to confuse me. So please write say as CSE and faryad as FRYAAD. Okay, FRYAAD, like this. Faryad. Hey Lina, ki rab se faryad. Hey Lina ki rab se faryad. Hey Lina ki rab se faryad. Or you can remember it. H linak rab kasfar. H linak rab kasfar. Now, one more definition of metals that I would say. Now, one more definition of metal. What is the definition of metal? It is tendency to lose electron. Tendency to lose electron. Now you will not remember anything. Ductile, malleable, all those things, very shiny. You will not remember those things. What is a metal? Metal is anything which has tendency to lose electron.
Lose electron.
Okay. It is not lustrous, very hard. No. Sodium is soft. Sodium is soft. It is not very hard. Tendency to lose electron. Now, the next thing is the electronic configuration. Next thing is electronic configuration. So please, the atomic number are what? The atomic number for hydrogen is
1,
lithium
3,
3, sodium
11,
okay 11. After that, potassium
19,
yeah, very good, 19. Rubidium 37. Then you add 32 more, you will get how much? 5. Cesium is 55. 18 more. Then you will add 32 more here. It will be 87. Okay. So these are the atomic number. Then we will write the electronic configuration. So this will be 1s1. Lithium will be
2s1.
Yeah, the outermost electronic configuration is 2s1. Okay. And you can write here what you can write helium like this. Okay. And then here you can write neon 3s1. After that comes potassium, yes, argon. After argon will be 4s1. Then you will have krypton 5s1, xenon 6s1, and radon 7s1. Okay. Now you'll write the valence shell. Okay, you will not write the valence shell. You will write that. Tell me the valence electron in all of these. Okay, you'll tell me the valence electron. How many valence electron? In all of them, there is one valence electron. Yes or no? One valence electron, no? All of
Yes,
them.
sir.
Now there is one more concept which is known as valency. Which is known as valency. Now valency can be two things. Valency can be two things. It can be either the valence electron. Okay, and if it is not valence electron, it will be valence electron -8, whichever is smaller. Okay, whichever is smaller. This is valency, or you also will say this sometimes oxidation state. Okay, So if I write this with sign, that will be oxidation state. If I don't write this with sign, that will be valency. Okay. So for example, if I write, what is the valency here? The valence electron, it can be either 1 or, okay, let me not write oxidation state, or let me write it like this. 8 minus valence electron. Okay, 8 minus. So it can be either 1 or it can be 7. Which is a smaller here? 1 is smaller, that's why the valency will be equal to 1. Do you understand this concept of valency now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Does.
All of you?
Done, sir.
So group 1 elements are done. Group 1 elements are done. Group 2. Group 2 elements. What are the group 2 elements? Acha,
Alkali
first of all,
and
what are
alkaline.
these? Yeah, very good. Alkaline. Earth metals. Okay. Now this has the same thing. Alkaline, it again means basic, right? So in water, they will act as base. Okay. In water, they will act as base. In water, they will act as base. Why earth metals? Because they are found in the crust of the earth. Okay. They are mainly found in the crust of the earth. What are these elements? What are these elements? We have beryllium,
Magnesium, calcium.
magnesium, strontium, barium, radium. So how will you remember this? So I remembered it just like that only. Be mag ka sar bada. Okay. Be mag ka sir bada. What does be makka means? Mag means magas. You know what is magas? Huh? Do you guys know what is magas? No. Magas means brain. Sir means head. Be makka sar bada. Be makka sar bada. What does this mean? Be makka sar bada. Without head, you have, without brains, you have big head. Without brains, you have big head. Okay, so you will just remember it like this. Be makka sar bada. Be makka sar bada. Now, coming to the electronic configuration, but for electronic configuration, we first need the atomic numbers. So for atomic number of beryllium, it is 4. For magnesium, it is how much?
12,
12. Calcium,
20,
20. Strontium, add 18, 38. Now add once more 18,
56,
56. Yes. Now add 32.
88.
Very good. Okay. So these are the, now we will just write the outermost electronic configuration. So this will be having helium 2s2, neon 3s2, argon 4s2, krypton 5s2, xenon 6s2, and radon 7s2. How many valence electron here? How many valence electron?
2,
Yes. And what is the valency? Samira? What is the valency, Samira?
Yes.
Sorry? Can you repeat that, Samira, please?
It will be from 2 to 7.
No, you are not audible. There is so much of noise. Can you please message me in the chat? Here also I have to write the general electronic configuration. Write one more thing here. Oh, I left so much of space here. The general electronic configuration is equal to NS1. Okay, it is NS1. Valency, Samaira in the chat, please. And Safwan, are you here? लड़का चला गया कहीं.
Yes, sir.
You were not here before some time, right? You went somewhere.
Yes, sir.
So you didn't think that it is worth it to let me know that you are going somewhere else. Yes, Safwan.
Sorry, sir.
Tell me the valency now then. What will be the valency? Samaira, you are also not replying in the chat. Okay. Yes, Safwan, correct. What about you, Samaira? You don't know? Two or seven, na? 2 to 7. No, no, no. This is or. And it will be not 2 to 7.
Yes,
Samaira, please.
or
Wait, Samaira, listen. Listen here. Valence electron or 8 minus valence electron. So tell me, what is the valence electron here? Samaira?
2,
2. Now 8 minus valence electron will be how much? 8 minus 2?
6,
6. And which is lower? Which is smaller here? So valency will be
2.
2, no? Not 2 or 7. 2 only, okay? I have given you all of the things. Whichever is smaller, valency will be valence electron or 8 minus valence electron, whichever is smaller. So in valency can be 1 or 7. I mean, this is not right statement, but just to get you learning. What is the valency? The exact valency is 1. Okay, valency will be 1. So this is a method how you calculate the valency. Please let me know if you're done.
Done, sir.
Okay. Now write P block elements. Okay, P block elements. Now we will write some general characteristics of P block elements, and after that we will start with group 13. Okay. So the general electronic configuration, okay, GEC will be equal to NS. It will be NS2 NP126. Okay, NP126. That means the S orbital will be completely filled in the P block elements. We will be filling the electrons in the P orbitals. And there are how many groups? It is composed of. It is composed of how many groups?
2 groups.
Arey bhai, how 2 groups? P block elements 13, 14,
Yes, sir. I
15,
mean, those 2
16.
groups.
Which 2 groups? Tell me. Which 2 groups?
13, 14, sir. That was in my mind.
13 to
No, no.
17.
Yeah, 13 to 17.
Yes,
But
sir.
I mean, you can also include the 18 groups. Okay, you can also group the 18 group in the P block. And that particular portion is a bit what I can say controversial in chemistry, that whether should we include the 18th or not. So it is composed of 18. Let us say 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. 6 groups. That is group 13 to group 18. Okay. Now, since we are writing here NP6, now that is why 6 electrons will be present only in the group 18. That is why I'm here writing group 18. I've also written somewhere else that group 70. So you must know that there is a controversy here. There is a controversy here. Okay, there's a controversy here. Now, if you are asked in your examination, you will write from group 13 to 18. You'll write group 13 to 18. Now, 17 one is a bit, what I can say, competitive exam in the sense of competitive exam, but CBSE and NCERT, they take it to be 18. Okay, let us come to the remarks here, the general characteristics. First of all, this block, it contains metals, metalloids, and non-metals too. Okay, it contains metals, metalloids, and non-metals too. Okay, and non-metals too. Now, the next point is that ionization enthalpy is relatively high. Relatively higher than that of S block. That means it is a bit tough to remove electrons from the P block elements. They will mostly form covalent compounds. Please, are you done writing this? Let me know.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Now, please write the group 13. Okay, we'll start with what? We will start with group 13. Yes or no? We'll
Yes,
start
sir.
with group 13. Group 13. Now, group 13, the general electronic configuration for this will be NS2 NP1. NS2 NP1. Okay. Now, what are the elements here? The elements that you have to remember are, they are, okay, I need to change the pen's color. Boron, then you have aluminium, then you have gallium, indium, thallium. How will you remember this? You will remember it like this. You know baigan,
Yes,
Aloo.
sir.
gajar, in thala. Okay, baigan, aloo, gajar in thala. Do you want an English one, or is this fine? Do you want a English mnemonic?
Sir, this is fine.
This is fine only, no? Okay. Now, I mean, if there is someone who does not is not
Sir,
comfortable with
helium is TH or TI?
thallium, is, oh sorry, it is TL. It is TL, not TH or TI. It is TL. Sorry, TL. Okay, I think I should write the names also. You know, it is barium, it is boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, thallium. Okay. Now, what are the atomic numbers? 5,
13,
13,
31,
31. Add 18 once more.
49,
49. Now add 32.
82,
81. No,
81.
81. Okay. Now we will have the electronic configuration. So we will start with what? We'll start with helium. 2s2, 2p1. then neon 3s2 3p1, neon argon 4s2 3d10 4p1. Okay, please remember this. You have to put what? You have to put the same formula as we were doing electronic configuration with noble gases. Okay, after argon comes krypton. This will be 5s2 4d10 5p1. Then comes xenon. Xenon will be 6s2 4f14 5p10 and 6p1. Now in this also we can already see that what is the valence electron is equal to how much? Please tell me, everyone. What about Samaira? How many valence electron? What is the valence electron? Yes, Samaira.
3.
Yes, 3, na? Mariam. Do you get it now? 3. Mariam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you missed that. Okay, 3. Then what will be the valency? Samaira will tell me valency. Yes, Samaira, what will be the valency?
3 to 5, 3 or 5.
So what will be the original valency?
3.
3. Very good. Valency will be 3. This is also known as boron family. Okay, this is also known as boron family.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
It is done. Okay. I have to write all these now. Group 13, then group 14. Okay, group 14. So what you will be doing here? Why is this getting so much open spaces are here? Okay, group 14. Now the electronic configuration, general electronic configuration will be NS2, NP2. Okay, general electronic configuration. Now what are the elements? Can you write the elements? If you look at the periodic table, no, I will give you the elements. Okay, I will give you the elements. The elements are starting with carbon. Okay, starting with carbon. Then you have silicon, germanium. Then this is tin. This is Pb, which is lead. Okay, Pb, which is lead. Okay. Now you can remember Kaisi Geet Sunao Prabhu. Can you say this? Kaisi Geet Sunao Prabhu. Kaisi Geet. Please repeat this after me now. Kaisi Geet
कैसी गीत
Sunao Prabhu.
सुनाओ प्रभु.
Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is Kaisi. Here you will have Geet. Sunao. This is Prabhu. Okay. Kaisi Geet Sunao Prabhu. And there is another one in English, can simple German, snare in pubs. But this is more better, I think. Kaisi Geet. This is Kaisi. Okay, this is Kaisi. Rather, you should write it like this, Kaisi. However you write it, Kaisi Geet Sunao Prabhu. This is carbon, silicon, germanium, this is tin, and this is lead. Okay. Now the electronic configuration and atomic numbers. Electronic configuration and atomic numbers is homework. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the same thing. Homework. What you will write? You will write the electronic configuration first of all. After that, you will write the valence electrons, and from there you will write the valency. Okay, these 3 things. Now valence electron you can already see 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Valency will be also 4. Electronic configuration is the only homework. Okay, electronic configuration is the only homework. Please write this down fast.
Done, sir.
Now write. What is the group? Group 15, right? Group 15. Okay, this is known as carbon family. You should write this here, carbon family. After that, you have the nitrogen family. Nitrogen family. In nitrogen family, you have nitrogen, phosphorus,
Phosphorus, arsenic,
arsenic, antimony, and bismuth. Okay, this is nitrogen. Phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. So you'll remember it like this: Nana, Patekar, Aishwarya, सब बीमार. Okay, Nana Patekar, Aishwarya, सब बीमार. Is this fine? Can you remember it?
yes, sir.
Okay, Nana Patekar, Aishwarya, सब बीमार. Now here you have to write a few more things. Okay, what are the homework? Homework is, first of all, you will write the GEC. What is GEC?
General
General electronic
electron
configuration.
Configuration. Then you will write the valence electron, and after that you will write the valency. And obviously you also have to write the electronic configuration, okay, for each. Okay, the same thing that we did for group 13. The same thing that we did for group 1, group 2, and group 13. Okay.
Done, sir.
Now after that is 15 is 16. Group 16, it is oxygen family. In oxygen family, we have oxygen, sulfur, selenium, then you have tellurium, and after that you have polonium. Okay, and in oxygen, this is oxygen. This is sulfur. This is selenium. This is tellurium. This is polonium. This is polonium. Okay. Now, pronounce this now, Mariam. How will you pronounce this?
Sir, which one? Oxygen and sulfur?
Like this, these two symbols. If you make this a word, ONS, how will you pronounce? OS. Okay. And how will you pronounce this?
Os, say,
And this?
tipo.
Usse tepo. Kisse tepo?
Usse tipo.
Usse tepo. Do you know the meaning of tepo?
No, sir.
Tepo means copying. Tepo means copying. Okay. So if you're
Yes,
copying
sir.
someone works, that means it would tape raha hai. Okay. So kisse tepo? Usse tepo. Simple, right? Usse tepo. Now, the same things are homework. The same things are homework.
Yes, sir.
Done. After group 16 is group 17. Group 17. Okay, fine. Fluorine family. These are known as halogens. Okay, these are known as halogens. Halo means salt, gen means generator. That means salt forming. That means salt forming. Halogen means what? Salt forming. Okay. One more information regarding the oxygen family. These are known as chalcogens. Okay. Chalco means ore. Most of the ores that you will find are with oxygen and sulfur. Oxygen and sulfur will have most of the ores. Nitrogen family is known as pnictogens. Okay, pnicto means irritation. It has something irritation. Yes, it has something meaning of irritation. Now, whenever you have some compounds of nitrogen, they are very irritating if you smell them. They are very irritating if you smell them. Okay, so that is why these are known as pnictogens. And then you have a name for oxygen family, chalcogens. Then we have the fluorine family, halogens. Then we have the chlorine family, halogens. Okay. Now, in halogens, what are the elements that we have? We have fluorine. We have fluorine.
Chlorine,
Yes, then chlorine,
then bromine, then
bromine,
iodine.
iodine. After that, you have AT, which is astatine. Okay, so this is fluorine. Chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine. Okay. Now, how will you remember this? You can remember this in two ways. Now, can somebody repeat with me? Firkal,
Firkal,
bahar aayi,
bahar aayi.
auntie. Firkal. Okay. I mean, you can have another one also. First class biryani in Austria or Australia. First class biryani in Australia. First class biryani in Australia or Firkal bahar aayi auntie, as you want to remember it. As you want to remember it. Should I write these things? Let me write these things. Firkal bahar aayi auntie. Or you can also remember it like this. First class biryani in Australia or Austria, whatever you want. Okay, first class biryani in Austria or Firkal bahar aayi auntie. Or Firkal bahar aayi auntie. Again, the same things are homework. Same things are homework.
Done, sir.
After that, right? Group 18. Group 18. Okay, this is helium family. And this is also known as, what is this known as? Noble gases. Noble gases. Okay. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know how to remember this? Do you know how to remember this?
No, sir.
So you don't know the mnemonic now? Okay. So this is, I have this mnemonic. I have named this with my friend's name. His name is Niaz. Hey Niaz. Hare karo. Xerox Rangeen. Do you know what is a Xerox? Do you guys know
Photocopy?
Xerox? No, Xerox is a machine's name. Photocopy is the thing that Xerox do. Xerox is not photocopy. Xerox is machine's name. Okay. What is Xerox name?
Yes,
We
sir.
used it. ये Xerox करा के ले आओ, है ना? जाओ Xerox करा
Yes,
के ले
sir.
आओ. Xerox करा के ले आए, कंपनी खरीद के ले आए क्या? है ना? It's photocopying, but I mean the monotony was so hard. I mean, the Xerox company was the only one which was producing machines which can photocopy. So it became synonym. It became synonym. अरे करो Xerox रंगीन.
Done, sir.
Done, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so group 18, we are done till group 18. Okay. Now for further groups, we will do tomorrow or not. Wait a second. You are batch B. Do you know the name of your batch or you don't know the name of your batch?
No, sir.
You
Riyadh?
don't know the Riyadh batch. Just Riyadh batch, nothing else.
Sir, I don't. I think so.
So, do you know that you will be having extra classes tomorrow and on Thursday?
Didn't know, sir.
Don't know that?
Yes, I don't know.
Acha, wait a second. Let me just confirm this. And when I am confirmed, हाँ, अब ये एक तो कन्वर्जन करना ना, इसका कन्वर्जन करना होगा. Indian time is 9 to 10. What is the Indian time? You will have also classes. You have classes on Monday and Wednesday. What is the timing for your classes? 4:30 to 6:30, na?
Yes, sir.
Now it is going to be 6:30. Yes, na? It is going to be 6:30, na? By your clock.
Yes, sir.
So Tuesday and Thursday you will have from 6:30 to 7:30. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have a class tomorrow. You have a class tomorrow, and tomorrow we will be learning about the D block and the F block. Okay. Okay, madam.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Homework,
sir.
please do the homework. Tomorrow is the day. Please do the homework and come. Okay. I will be
Yes,
asking
sir.
you. And how many groups you have to do? You have to 14. Yes, from 14. Na? Yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, that's it.